We in this bitch. All right. Gang, first reaction of the day type shit, man. What y'all on YouTube? You feel me? For those you on YouTube, you feel me? Like the video, subscribe. What up? By the way, you see what the fuck we got here, man. The stupidest criminals of all fucking time. Now, me personally, I ain't no motherfucking criminal. You hear me? I ain't a criminal. I ain't never do no, well, I mean, I've done shit, but I've never been to jails or no shit. I never done no bad, fucked up ass shit, you hear me? But, I mean, let's be honest, y'all. We all, did, illegal ass shit. You feel me? But I've never, no goof ass shit out. Give me jail time. Well, I mean, still, shit. Stupidest criminals of all time, man. Look, like video, subscribe. Can follow your boy twitch.tv/Tynowolf, man. I'm fun and great. You show me love, I'm going to show love right back to your ass. You feel me? Oh, no. I don't bite, man. I'm a nice ass nigga. If you get to know me, I'm a nice ass nigga, man. I'm cool and I be out the way, folks. This nigga from Chicago, you hear me, folks? All right, let's get it though. Stupidest criminals of all fucking time.
In 2009, Matthew McNally and Joey Miller robbed a home in Iowa using masks drawn onto their faces with permanent black marker. Whilst on the run, the two discovered that permanent black marker doesn't rub off easily, leading to their simple arrest and embarrassingly stupid mugshots. However, these two still look like geniuses in comparison to some of the other idiots we'll be talking about as we discuss the stupidest criminals of all time. Take for example MacArthur Wheeler, who robbed 2 banks in broad daylight as he thought that pouring lemon juice on his face would make him invisible to cameras. When shown the bank surveillance footage, Wheeler refused to believe that he was visible, stating to officers,
This nigga poured lemon juice on his face. He thought that shouldn't make him invisible. You know what I want to know, though? I want to know, I'm not even going to get on folks' ass too much. I just want to know what or who gave that nigga that thought. Was he sitting there? Was he actually believing that? Damn, boy, I poured his lemonade on my face. Them cameras definitely ain't gonna see my ass. There's no way he sat there and thought that himself, right? And even if somebody told him that shit, how the fuck do you as a grown ass man sit there and be like, oh yeah, this nigga, why you telling me if I pour lemonade on my face, that shit, I don't even, I guess, for shit.
Wore the juice, believing that as long as he didn't come near a heat source, he should have been completely invisible. Police concluded the Wheeler was not crazy or on drugs, just incredibly mistaken, with the lemon juice mistake eventually costing Wheeler a 24.5-year prison sentence. However, if we're on the topic of terrible disguises, then we can't go past Dennis Hawkins, whose disguise as an old lady wasn't much better. His sweater accompanied fake boobs, a full beard.
Shit, I mean, yeah, man. This motherfucking point. I mean, he had it. I'm gonna be real with y'all. He had it a little bit, but I guess he really just didn't want to fucking shave or put some makeup on. You feel me? Or you know what he could did? He could put a little face mask on. Feel me? A little mask on, right here to cover his mouth part, or just shaved or some shit. Just do something, but I don't know shit. I guess my nigga, but I don't know shit.
Beard and fittingly clown pants, with this insanely recognizable outfit helping police to catch Hawkins only an hour after the robbery. The police chief for the area stated, "He would get my nomination for dumbest criminal, I think. You still have his black facial hair with a blondish wig. Definitely different." Different is also a good way to describe Patrick McGuire's disguise, who robbed an Illinois convenience store while covering his face with a clear plastic bag. He was only able to obtain.
Okay, so he robs a store covering his plastic bag. Okay, again, listen. I've never robbed nobody day in my motherfucking life, right? But listen though, check it out. If I'm gonna go rob somebody, rob some shit for I shouldn't even have to fucking say this because this is even stupid. I even gotta say this shit. Why the fuck? What? Okay, like, I just want to know. Okay, hold on. Check me out, check. What is the thought process behind that shit, though? Okay, cool. I'm finna go rob a nigga and shit. Rob a store, knock the store off shit, woo, right? What's the process of like, damn, I'm finna put a plastic just bag or whatever over my head? Like, you know it's not. Like, I'm just trying to be like calm. So we just started stream. I know how I usually be angry as fuck. I'm trying to change my ways, chat. I'm changing. Okay? I'm just calm. I'm trying not to, you feel me? So I'm gonna get right back to this fucking video. I don't understand that thought process. You know, chat, I hate stupid shit. It's like one of my pet peeves. I really hate stupid shit. That makes no, like, just
obtained $60 from the robbery. However, due to his extensive criminal history, he was sentenced to 15 years in prison for the stunt, meaning that he had to spend 1 year in prison for every $4 stolen from the store. Talk about a bad return. Equally bad was Paul Sinclair's, who attempted to rob a bank in Florida by using his fingers curled up into a gun shape. The quote-unquote weapon was so non-threatening
that's not right. No. That's not real, right? I refuse fucking believe fucking there is no fucking way that there's no. He has to be on drugs, right? No, right. Tell me he was on drugs, right?
That the bank teller gave him only $120, after which he'd flee on foot before being caught by police only 10 minutes later. Then there was James Blankenship, who thought
he was on drugs, right? Chat, no. There's no fucking way. No. I refuse to fucking believe this nigga came out on the stove like these. That nigga pulled up like these and was like, "After everything you fucking got that fucking in the cash register right now. Give me everything you fucking got that cash register right now, boy, before I blow your shit." I could just imagine, like the cashier face just looking at like this goof ass nigga like it's a joke, right? Like, my nigga, like, what? I ain't like that cashier better than me, cause nigga like me, I would look this ass dead in this motherfucking face and I would have fucking laughed while I proceeded to stump his ass. I would have jumped over the fucking counter and shit after I got through laughing and stumped his ass out, folks. There's no fucking way.
That robbery was legal as long as you did it at a certain time of day. Back in 2013, Blankenship
robbery was legal if you did a certain time. Okay.
Broke into his own mother's home, after which the police were called, who would take to their Facebook page later
Hold on, wait. I'm sorry, pause, chat. I'm sorry, pause, and like even y'all on YouTube. I'm sorry. You broke inside your own mama crib to rob her. Imagine breaking into your mama crib, folk, to rob her ass. Oh yeah, I'm finna go rob my mama. And being dumb as hell while doing it. I'm finna do it in a certain fucking time of the day. That means it's again, I ain't got time for stupidity today, so I'm gonna fall back.
A day to explain what had happened. He fled the scene upon seeing his mother. The male was located under the house hiding in a crawl space. When advised of his charges, he made the statement, "I thought you could only be charged with burglary if you break in during the night time." Blankenship was given 180 days in jail and ordered to pay a $100 fine, yet this wasn't the only time when a person was dumb enough to think that a law didn't apply to them. Because when Reuben Pavin was caught stealing from a charity thrift shop in New Hampshire, he'd state that he thought everything was free because of the name of the business, Finders Keepers. The sign did say Finders Keepers, so I took that DVD player, took it home, Pavin told the local TV station. A couple of weeks later, the stuff is still there on the porch, so I'm thinking to myself, Finders Keepers, they probably just put stuff out there for people to take. The business responded via Facebook stating, "This man who was caught on video is saying it is all a misunderstanding. He thought everything at our store was free. Is that really the best defense he could come up with?" After which Pavin reportedly turned in the stolen goods to police, holding that he's not a bad person person or a bad dad and is rather just unbelievably stupid. But was he as dumb as Derek Mosley, who in 2013 attempted to rob a store named Discount Gun Sales by using a baseball bat. When Mosley allegedly barged into Discount Gun Sales and smashed a display counter with his baseball bat, the store manager simply pulled out his own personal firearm and pointed it straight at the would-be robber, holding Mosley in the store until he was arrested and charged with first degree.
Yeah, let me bring a baseball, let me bring a bat to a fucking gunfight. Nigga pull it up, yeah, but I'm definitely finna rob this nigga. I'm finna have a baseball bat inside a fucking gun store. Fuck this nigga gonna do? Hey, fuck it. You feel me?
Robbery. A similar story then came out of Texas in July 2022 when a gun store was robbed at knife point, although this tale instead ended in a body bag as the robber was fatally shot by the store owner as he tried to exit with his loot. But what happens when you accidentally call 911 whilst committing a crime? Pocket dialing the police is probably a fairly common occurrence. However,
imagine that shit. Imagine hitting a fucking lick and you like I said, pocket dial, butt dial, whatever the fucking police, and they hear you doing this shit. Do you know how fucking like unlucky you gotta fucking be for that shit to happen? Y'all, I don't think I've ever heard no shit like that in my fucking life.
For Carson Reinhardt and Nathan Teklemariam, it happened at the most unfortunate moment, specifically while they were breaking into a car. The alert dispatcher soon realized that the call was an accidental one, and moreover that the guys on the other end might be up to no good. For the next 35 minutes, the dispatcher stayed on the line, listening and gathering information, as Teklemariam and Reinhardt did the following. Discovered a car that they thought they could burglarize, discussed how to break into the car, allegedly broke into the car, exclaimed in delight over finding narcotics in the car, became confused as to how and why a police car was following them, and reacted in disbelief when the arresting officer revealed that they'd been on the line to 911 the entire time. Scott Simon found himself in a similar situation, although under much more severe circumstances. Whilst on trial for murder in 2015, Scott was successfully sentenced to life in prison, as 2 years prior he'd pocket dialed the police while admitting to a friend that he was the one who committed the crime. He had no idea he called 911, a sheriff's office spokeswoman told the Miami Herald. He basically told on himself, as did Albert Bailey, although in a much stupider way. Bailey had planned on robbing a bank in Fairfield, Connecticut, although rather than exercising the element of surprise, he'd call the bank prior to the robbery stating, "I want $100,000 in large bills and no die packs. I'll be sending someone into the bank to get the money. Don't call the police, we are monitoring the police scanner." Prior to making this phone call, Bailey had already served 7 years in prison for a previous bank robbery. However, this new plan was equally ineffective, as after arriving at the bank to collect his cash, Bailey was locked inside, arrested, and sentenced to another 9 years in prison. Although, if he wanted to avoid this time behind bars, he could have had a chat with Tito and Amanda Watts, who got arrested in Florida for selling tickets to enter heaven at a price of $100. Tito Watts said in his police statement, "I don't care what the police say, the tickets are solid gold, and it was Jesus who gave them to me behind the KFC and said to sell them so I could get me some money to go to outer space. You should arrest Jesus because he's the one who gave me the golden tickets and said to sell them. I'm willing to wear a wire and set Jesus up." The couple had apparently earned over $10,000 from the stunt, meaning that they were able to find people even dumber than them, one of which might have been Ruben Zarate. While attempting to rob a muffler shop in 2008, Zarate was told that the shop couldn't access the money safe without their manager, who didn't begin his shift until later that afternoon. Instead of bailing on the robbery, Zarate instead gave them his phone number, asking them to give him a ring the next time the manager was in. They did so later that afternoon, although after returning to the store, Zarate received no money and was instead met by police and charged with aggravated robbery. Then there was the man who gave the people he was robbing something even stupider. The unnamed robber walked into a London bank carrying a gun and a bag, which he'd take to the front desk before demanding £700,000 in cash from the bank worker. But after making his demands, the crook handed over his gun to the cashier instead of the bag. Investigating authorities stated, the guess is that he is very inexperienced and panicked when he approached the cashier, handing over his gun instead of a bag by mistake.
Nigga was shaking this shit with the fucking Glock in his hand. He was like, "Oh, give me everything in the motherfucker. Cash register. Here." And that the bag out like, hell no, folks. Nigga just handed him his pipe, folks.
But it was Trevor Jones who left an even more damning piece of evidence at his crime scene. After breaking into a house in Atlanta, Jones took a moment to check his Facebook on the owner's computer before leaving without logging out. Less than 3 years later, a similar story entered news headlines, reading, "A 26-year-old Minnesota man has been tracked down by police after leaving his Facebook profile logged in at a house he allegedly robbed," although this story has a much funnier ending. The homeowner decided to message the robber via his Facebook, stating, "You left a few things at my house last night, how can I get them back to you?" which was followed by the robber agreeing to come back to the home so he could collect the stuff he forgot. However, the robber didn't get any of his items.
So this nigga robbed the fucking place. If your Facebook is open, and you agree to pull up back to the fucking place? You niggas retarded.
Back and was instead arrested while still wearing a watch that he'd stolen from the night before. While both of these idiots used social media poorly, at least they didn't brag about the robbery in a YouTube video, as is what happened in the bizarre case of Hannah Sabata. In 2012, at the age of 19, Sabata stole $6,000 from a bank in Nebraska, and while almost anybody else would have simply kept quiet, Hannah instead took to her YouTube channel Jelly Beanie to upload a video titled Chick Bank Robber, in which she'd straight up admit to having just committed a robbery. She'd then discuss her entire methodology for the crime while showing the money and the amount that had been stolen, before concluding the video by describing the vehicle she had used and that it had its license plates removed. This information eventually resulted in Hannah Sabata's arrest and sentencing of 10 to 20 years prison, done so in a public courtroom filled to maximum capacity with people who had seen the video. Just 2 years prior to this, 21-year-old Frank Singleton was being released from Palm Beach County Jail, having just served time for a trespassing charge. The only issue was he didn't have a car to leave the jail, so he decided to steal one from the visitors' parking lot, yet the car he decided to steal was a manual and he could only drive auto. Singleton sat in the car looking like an idiot before being arrested and sentenced to a further 6 years in prison, telling deputies that he tried to take the car because he didn't feel like walking to his home about 6 months. Miles away. And while you may be sat here thinking that these criminals can't get any dumber, it's time to introduce 53-year-old Michael Anthony Fuller. While it's common knowledge that the US banknote doesn't go any higher than $100, Fuller had the genius idea to create a counterfeit $1 million note before trying to use it at his local Walmart. He loaded his cart with a vacuum cleaner, a microwave, and various other items totaling $472 before handing the $1 million note to the cashier, expecting $999,528 in change. Needless to say, Walmart wasn't able to facilitate this, and instead store staff called police. Fuller was later charged with attempting to obtain property by false pretense and uttering a forged instrument.
Wow. Wow, chat. Hey, chat. And that's people for you. Fuck it. And that's people for you. WVid, I guess. I don't. What the fuck did we? I can't believe people fucking exist though. That's actually fucking. Oh.